Candidates, please get ready for the passage. Mr. Chairman, sir, it is now more than a month since we last met to discuss the food situation. The food position has continued to cause the deepest concern to all of us, and that is why I wish to speak to you again on this subject. I do not want to go into the statistical or economic explanations of the causes underlying the present situation. We have to face the situation as it is today. Shortage of food grains has caused serious problems, and whatever may be the reason, the government has to increase the supplies to the people. As an immediate measure, the government has no alternative but to import cereals from abroad and as quickly as possible. Despite the fact that we are short of foreign exchange, we are doing everything possible to import food grains in the shortest possible time. It is regrettable that the wheat crop last year was poor and we are in short supply of wheat also. But under the aid program, supplies have been stepped up substantially. Some time back, there was some trouble about the unloading of ships carrying food grains. Quick steps were taken to remove the difficulties of the workers, and the situation appears to have improved considerably. At present, there are not many waiting ships carrying food grains. I would like to appeal to everyone working in the ports to remember that food grains are vital for the community, and the workers should not in any way become responsible for aggravating the present complicated situation. It has been decided to divert ships to different ports in the coming months so that there is the minimum of delay and the delivery of grains to different states becomes easier and quicker. The railways have also been advised to give top priority to the movement of food grains. Already the quota of wagons has been stepped up, even doubled in many instances. As the movement from the ports improves, the ships will also arrive more quickly. I feel that the impact of larger imports will begin to be felt by the end of this month. In between, it is essential that our own domestic production should reach consumers all over the country with the minimum of interference. The restrictions which exists on movement from state to state have to be operated without undue favor to the needs of surplus states. All the stock of food grains are not in the hands of the government, central or state. Large quantities are in the hands of the traders. This is natural. What is wrong is that traders with stocks hold them rather than bringing them out into the market. The state governments have been taking actions to bring out of the stocks. I would be happy if the traders freely marketed these stocks themselves. But the traders have not left much scope for improvement. Possibly they fear that once they bring out the stocks, they will expose themselves and have to suffer penalties. They are surely liable to penalties. But in the special situation prevailing today, I would go to the extent of suggesting to you not to take any penal action against such traders. The stocks may further be allowed to be sold in further market at a reasonable price. However, after the lapse of the period of grace, firm measures will have to be taken as has already been done in some places. I do not want to say more about this point. More than enough has already been said, and it is now time to let firm action speak for itself. I can only express the hope that the private traders will respond to my appeal and will conduct itself in such a way that the firm action do not become necessary. Sir, of course, the big cities are facing major problems. But in some of the states, shortage and the scarcity have affected the rural areas also, and there has been a lot of suffering on that account. I think that the bigger cities like Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai and Delhi will have to be dealt with in a special way. If it becomes essential, we should be prepared to introduce rationing in these cities. We must have the necessary machinery, at least in the larger cities, so that whenever the need arises, it could be brought into action at short notice. The Honorable Finance Minister has already offered to meet part of the cost of such machinery. In rural areas, the supplies should be made through fair price shops, and the trade in the rural areas should also play its part. I do hope the panchayats will take upon themselves a special responsibility in the present situation. Every village panchayat should keep an eye on every man in the village to see that there is no starvation. After all, India lives in its villages. A sound agricultural economy will give boost to the purchasing power of the village masses, and their growing demand for consumer goods will flourish. The upliftment of the rural poor would be the greatest tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Most of our agricultural lands consists of small holdings. For increasing its yields, it is very necessary to enthuse our farmers to adopt cooperative approach in farming. The government will have to be careful against any increase in the agricultural input costs to ensure real benefit to the farmers. But this year will lead to decline in the cost of various agricultural inputs, and with the increased procurement prices of agricultural products, the farmers are sure to get considerable relief. Sir, greater attention is needed for promotion of animal husbandry sector. Although certain financial assistance is presently available for buying cattle, its insurance, etc., there is no concrete program on a national level to have better breed of animals and increased productivity. Lot of animals die due to drought and floods in our country. What we are doing to fill up this gap created by different calamities. These kettles are great friends of mankind.